Greetings and welcome, guys, gals, and non-binary pals, to episode 322 of the Words About Games podcast, the weekly news, culture, and gaming podcast for words about games. I'm your host, Amy K. Alexander, and blinding himself to the side of me, is Mr. Zaf Moody.
Howdly doodly do, it's Monday. You know what that means.
What does that mean?
Anything we want it to mean, Amy. Anything we want it to mean. Somehow I'm
Interesting.
brighter all of a sudden. When I was looking at the screen before, I was thinking, why am I darker? Now I'm brighter. Because OBS came on, and it was just like, my PC was just like, we must brighten up. Or something. I don't know, but either way, yeah. I'm good. I hope everyone else is well. How are you, Amy?
I'm alright. I just realised I forgot to turn my lights, the console-specific lights on in the background, but it's fine. I've got the fairy lights going, so...
It's fine.
It's fine.
Nothing's changed really for mine. And
No, you still got this big negative, like, white space on your side. It's awesome. Just like... I'm curious. I just like, when you start filling it up, I want it to just be like one thing at a time. Like it's slowly filling up, slowly taking over everything else.
Everything and everywhere.
Everything and everyone. I mean, everywhere. How's your week been?
My week's been fine, yeah. It's been pretty decent. Can't complain. Only did 4 days
Me too.
work, so it was pretty alright.
I don't know.
I'm enjoying work. Work's continuing to be good.
Good, I'm glad.
And yeah.
Working on any interesting games? I don't know how long I'm going to keep this joke.
I feel like I was going to say I'm curious how long you're going to keep.
I don't know how long I'm going to keep this joke up for, but until the day that I do that and you accidentally answer me, and then we both are like, "Oh no! Oh shit! Oh shit! What do we do?"
Thank God we're not fucking live.
Yeah. Bet you're glad we're not live streaming the podcast now. Yeah, probably until then. I don't know. I'll get, but you know me. I take jokes way too far, and then I get bored on them eventually.
Yes, you do.
This is how I be doing. I be doing
it too.
Be do. Just remembering to add things. You know, I'm just editing the show notes now. Seems like
best late than never, I guess.
Seems like
or during.
Seems like as good a time as any.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
I mean, it's not like I didn't invite someone onto their very first podcast while you were away, and then realize I put my
It's called Return.
Oh, is it? Oh, that's the old one.
Return 2.
I can't tell you.
Who did you invite on?
Well, it was Vit when I invited. I don't know if you watched that one.
Vit. Yeah, I've watched it.
And then I put my contact lenses around backwards, and then I had to go off screen and swap them around.
And Vitz came in and saved the day.
Pretty much.
I pretty much.
I mean, that was the one time I didn't need anyone else for the podcast, but I'd already booked someone for the podcast, and then I was like, "Hey, take the week off."
You take the week off.
You take the week off, Mooney.
You chill.
You deserve it. You earned it. Orange juice. I mean, I don't know. I'm really like, nothing's really happened. I mean, so shitloads has happened this week, like in terms of like video games and stuff. Too much to contain in one awesome podcast.
The main one technically happened last week. What we're going to be talking about.
But like, apart from like, you know, video game news where it's felt like we've had a month's worth of stuff happen in a week, nothing really happened. I just kind of, I don't know, maybe there's some energy saver mode. I'm like slowly getting into like autumn, getting cozy, you know? Hot chocolates have started happening. Blankets have started coming out. Hoodies have started to be worn. Not just because they're the only things I have pockets on. Even though they're terrible pockets. And you can't put anything in them because they're about this big. And if you like slightly tilt your body in any direction, everything falls out of them. But
That's true.
It's great. It's cool. I've been binging No Clip for a week. Like, I haven't even seen. Did I see Lower Decks? I don't even think I've seen Lower Decks this week. I haven't watched the Lord of the Rings TV show.
I always knew you were going to be slow on that. So
No, I mean I watched the first 3 episodes.
Oh, have you?
The issue with watching TV shows week to week for me is that, like, so I'll go on Twitter, right, and everybody can't help but talk about the new thing. I haven't got any spoilers for it, but like a bunch when you wake up in the morning, right, and you're watching Rings, and it's like it's Rings of Power Day, the new episode, and then like tons of people who you follow on Twitter are all like, yeah, the episode wasn't very good. In my head, I'm just like, okay, well, now instead of going, I can watch this episode, I just go, oh, well, I mean, it seems like I'm wasting an hour now. I could just watch this other thing.
You are so easily influenced by Twitter sometimes.
Not really. It's just like, well, if you imagine a pile of things to do that's like as tall as you are, and then like one thing, and everybody's saying, oh, this thing wasn't very good, but there's this massive pile of things that you just go and do something else. It's not being influenced by Twitter. It's just ADHD.
It was any good or not. That's the thing about it, though.
It's just
you have
ADHD.
been influenced by some people saying, "Yo, I know it's ADHD and everything like that." But,
why watch a thing which now in probability is going to be a bit boring when I can watch this cool thing? And that's cool. And I just go and do that, and then I'm like, what was I doing again?
You do you.
And this is why
I will never.
And this is why, for all the people who complain, not you, I'm going to be very clear here, not referencing you. This is right. For all the people that complain that I wait ages to watch TV shows until all the episodes have come out, this is why. This is why I wait.
Oh, I don't care about the type of way you watch stuff or whatsoever.
Yeah, there's people who are like, oh man, like they want to talk to me about the latest thing, and I'm like, I haven't watched it yet because this happens.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, you want to talk to me about the latest thing? The person who left me hanging on Star Trek Strange New Worlds for 3 months? Have you watched it yet? No, I haven't watched it yet. Have you watched it yet? No, I haven't watched it yet. What if I give you a login?
I've watched it now.
Not referencing you. I'm like, what if I just give you a Paramount Plus login? No, I'm still not watching it. I don't know how I can remove any more barriers in that scenario.
That's true, like that is true. There's no doubt about it. Like, at the end of the day, like, it's all good.
It's all good. Like, I like back
at the end of the day. Let's not beat about the bush here. No Clip, they are awesome. We all know they are awesome.
Oh, definitely.
And so
I've been.
There's no doubt about that.
I don't know why. I just went on their channel and I scrolled all the way to the bottom, like the first videos, and just started watching. And just started.
Yeah, I've done that. I watch a thing called Duel Night over at Team Samurai X. He's a Yu-Gi-Oh guy. He plays Yu-Gi-Oh. That's the thing. It's his channel and everything. And he does this thing called Duel Night. He rings it out 2 weeks on Fridays. And I was late to the party to it, but I started watching it, and I literally binged from all the way to 1, all the way to basically episode, I want to say 30 something. And these aren't short episodes.
Sure.
These are like a minimum of an hour to an hour and a half sometimes. So like really good long episodes, and it's just really fun at the same time. So yeah, it's really, really canny. I tried something with my partner
Do I want to know about this? Is this safe for YouTube?
This is very safe for YouTube. Okay. We watched the first episode of the Netflix show of the American serial killer
Oh my God! Yeah, Jeffrey Dahmer. I've heard about it. Everybody's talking about this right now.
I watched it. As people know, if you know me well enough, you know that I need someone to cheer for in any show. Any show. That's why I didn't really click with Breaking Bad, because both of those were despicable characters as people in general, even though they were very compelling in their unique ways. And I'll say this, Evan Peters, from just the first episode, he's amazing. He's amazing. He's disgustingly creepy, and I hope, in God's sakes, because apparently he went really dark in places when he was acting this, I hope he does, just for the sake of it, maybe seek some help just to be on the safe side. I don't want to think that he's gone into a really dark place with himself or something like that. But I watched the first episode. And the first episode, I can't deny, is a very good episode. It's very well done. It's very well told and everything. But yeah, I'll say this right now. The first episode, I didn't sleep well last night. I'm just gonna say that. I didn't sleep well last night. It was just my head was just so much in my head was going on, and I was just
Okay.
Nah. So I basically told my partner this morning, I said, yeah, if you want to continue watch it, go for it. You do not have to wait for me. I know you, this is your type of thing, it's the type of show you enjoy and everything like that. Makes me very worried, I won't lie. But
is that why you gave up your hoodie?
I won't be watching it. Pretty much, yeah, probably, yeah. Deep down, subconsciously, it's like, just do it, okay, just do it. It's just a hoodie. Don't push it.
Don't push it. She watches serial killer documentaries for fun.
So I watched it. Like I say, the episode is amazing. I can't deny that. But yeah, I ain't going back to that.
Fair.
Not whatsoever. I can't. I just can't. Just from the life of me. I want joy in my life. I want to root for somebody, you know. They can go through painful things, but I think it's even more that this ain't a made up thing. This is something that really happened in real life. This man did these things, and to know that they do portray certain things in the episodes further down, it's just like, nah.
I mean, I'm the same. I don't watch serial killer documentaries at all. I'm just like, no, I'm alright, thanks. Get inside the mind of one of the most notorious. No, I don't think I will. I don't think I will. I'm okay. Oh, it's fascinating.
No, it's not. It's not.
If you enjoy that kind of thing, more power to you. But I'm just like, I'd rather not. I'd rather watch My Little Pony and get inside the head of child me, transport myself back to
pretty much
to a time when life was simple.
Yeah, no doubt. What else I've watched? I'm really enjoying The House of Dragon.
All right, cool.
So good. That is so good. I've enjoyed so far. Rings of Power. I won't lie. This is the first time I've talked with you about this. I did not like the first 2 episodes. I thought they were very slow and boring, and there was other things that happened in it. I was just like, I don't care about the law, and they can change it however they want. I don't mind. This is a TV show. It's its own separate thing and everything. I'm not one of these idiots online.
I mean,
you can do whatever the hell you want.
There's people who are enjoying it for what it is. There's people who are mad about it, not being, you know what I mean, like changing things, and then there's the idiots.
Yeah, that's true.
A black elf in my Tolkien.
Black dwarf. What's going on here?
Yes.
Yeah. But no, I am enjoying it. It's a bit of a slow burn, though.
I like the slow burn. Sometimes it's nice to just slow the pace down, but maybe not straight out of the gate. Because the third episode picked up a little bit.
3rd and 4th episodes have been my favorite, and I enjoyed the latest episode, the 5th episode. I really enjoyed it just because it was really good character development on a lot of things. Even though there were some stupid characters on the show, I'm just like, why? And I'm just going to state this. I might get hate for this.
I'm
I
going.
don't think the hobbits should be in this show. They feel slapped on in this show just because it's Lord of the Rings and you can't have Lord of the Rings without the hobbits. And even though you're okay, half-foots, but you know who I mean. You know what I'm talking about. I just don't think they should be in it because I literally feel they feel completely slapped onto the show just because they should have hobbits, and I just don't. I'm not enjoying that storyline right now. I don't care who the tall man, the stranger is. I don't give a flying hoot. It could be anyone for all I care, and as long as it works well, it's at the end. That's great. But right now, I'm just like, yeah, I'm not enjoying the half-foot stories.
I like the extras.
I think the acting's amazing. I think the acting's really amazing from it. I think the lady who they got to play Galadriel she's doing a cracking job. Really cracking job, especially like who she had to replace. Going
True.
from Kate Blanchett to, and you're just like, I won't lie, they probably could have got us Kate Blanchett anyway, because the woman hasn't aged.
Yeah, that's true. She is actually an elf, right? What I found funny about the discourse, because I think I spoke about this with Tori on the podcast. You were moving house. I think that's where I talked about it last year, and I was like, the thing that like I saw a lot of people kicking off about, apart from racism, and all that shit. Like I knew that was happening. Like because I knew it was gonna happen.
Yeah.
But no, there was a clip that was going around, and it was the clip from the first episode where Galadriel kills that troll, and the idiots were being idiots about it, like, oh my god, that's so like blur this and blur that. And I watched that clip and I was like, shit, I need to watch this. That was awesome. I love having reactions like that. Just like, yeah, no, that man, you sold me. That was sick.
Your idiocy made me want to watch it even more. Thank you, people.
Right? This is the thing that I think sometimes, right? I watch capital G gamers have a meltdown about something on Twitter, right? Or wherever. And it makes me want to play the thing. Because I'm like, well, if they hate it,
I'm gonna love it.
it must be pretty good. Like Amy, it's really weird that you would play Saints Row when you've been burned out on open world AAA games. Yeah, but all these people say that they hate it because it's woke. So it must be pretty good. I mean, and it was okay, but man, playing video games just to spite weirdos online.
I won't lie, that's my drug.
I love it.
It's like just injected into my veins.
Just wah, there's a black protagonist in this game, and then you cut to me just being like, imagine I have a controller in my hand. Losers. Speaking of losers, let's get this show on the road. Wait, I know it's a good segue into the first part, but I just got to do the other bit real quick. This is the Words About Games podcast every Monday. You can get a video version of the show on youtube.com/WordsAboutGamesUK or an audio version on a variety of platforms. Should we talk shit about them while he's gone? Should we just like proper slay him? I'll pretend I've done the intro, but really, we just say whatever we want about Moody. And what I want to say about Moody is that he's a very lovely person, and I'm very lucky to have him in my podcasting and personal life. Lastly, if you want to hang out, did you hear any of that?
I could hear you all the way, just so you
Man,
know.
I thought halfway through, I was like, oh, he's got his headphones in. This isn't going to be funny because he's going to know I've said it. I was going to leave it in there as an Easter egg and then just pick up by going, lastly, if you want to hang out, like I'd done the intro, but I really hadn't done the intro. You know it all already. Let's just get into the news. Twitch.tv/wordsaboutgames, coffee.com/wordsaboutgames, timestamps down below. Moody, did you know that that everything in the video games industry has been leaking? Looks like my boat in Sea of Thieves.
I'll say this so we can get started properly. Give me the meat and give me to me raw. Let's get into this.
I don't know how to respond to that.
Watch the latest episode of Power Ring. You'll know what I mean.
I need an adult.
I need an adult. When you're there, find one for me as well.
Sure. Grand Theft Auto 6 had a big leak last Sunday. And I said, we're not going to touch this. But then I kind of figured events would progress to the point where it would probably be something we bring up this week. Whereas last week, all I really had was the leak, and I don't like publicized leaks. We're going to get into all sorts of leaks, all sorts of different leaks. There's a theme to the first half of this podcast, and then there's a theme to the second half of this podcast. They're two different themes. See if you can guess what they are. So I didn't really write, and I didn't really get a news story from anywhere and put it in so that I could read the news story out, because I just made bullet points, because I figured let's just have a chat. This is how the Last of Us thing happened a couple of weeks ago. We just started chatting about it. Let's just chat about this. I wrote the facts down as bullet points. There was early footage of an in-development Grand Theft Auto 6 that leaked. The hacker potentially has the source code for both Grand Theft Auto 5 and Grand Theft Auto 6. I don't know enough about game development to know if those are the same or if they're different. But anyway, the hacker is reportedly 16 or 17 years old. I've seen both. Capital G Gamers had a completely normal one about the footage. And then in response, a lot of game devs showed early footage of many other games. That was nice. I'll read the Rockstar statement and then we can have a chat. Because Rockstar put out a statement pretty fast, which said, quote, "We recently suffered a network intrusion in which an unauthorized third party illegally accessed and downloaded confidential information from our systems, including early development footage for the next Grand Theft Auto. At this time, we do not anticipate any disruption to our live game services, nor any long-term effect on the development of our ongoing projects. We're extremely disappointed to have any details of our next game shared with you all in this way. Our work on the next Grand Theft Auto game will continue as planned, and we remain as committed as ever to delivering an experience to you, our players, that truly exceeds your expectations. We will update everyone again soon, and of course we'll properly introduce you to this next game when it's ready. We want to thank everyone for their ongoing support through this situation." End quote. Where do you want to start?
Well, I'll just say what I think F1 basically said last week was that it sucks for Rockstar and the developers who have worked on this and everything. Like the entire team of working their asses off to create, I'm sure, to be an amazing game. Even if it may not work for me or anything like that, because GTA is a very mixed thing for me overall.
Sure.
And there's no doubt about it. Let's just be big facts here. This is still probably going to be one of the most successful games of all time when it drops, just like its predecessor. The hacker and everything like that. Okay, well done, congratulations. You've tried something, you've done something. We don't know. At the end of the day, what they're saying is they say they have the source codes. We don't know if they do.
We don't know,
we don't know if he's lying or anything like that. That's right, because automatic. When I saw him literally put out say, "Wow, I didn't expect this would happen."
Right, I wanted to bring that up. It was like, oh, this unexpectedly blew up. What, 90 videos and images of an in development Grand Theft Auto 6, and you didn't expect it to blow up? Oh, okay, sure, mate. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and then he comes out and says, "I am willing to negotiate." I'm saying,
ship sailed.
I don't think. Yeah. No, the ship sailed ages ago. There's no doubt about it. The ship sailed when he took the first data. When he took the first video from Rockstar. For God's sake.
Yeah.
They would have hunted him down just.
I remember
all of that.
Yeah, I remember seeing the first stuff of this. Someone literally waving their phone in my face, going, "Have you seen the Grand Theft Auto?" And I was like, "No. What is this? Why am I looking at it again?" I think I remember even saying to the person, with no context, "Have you seen the Grand Theft Auto thing?" And he waved it in front of my face, and I looked at it and I went, "Why am I looking at development footage of GTA 5? That's what I assumed I was looking at."
Which is what everyone knew.
And then it's GTA 6, and I was like, wait, that's GTA 6, holy shit. But like, as soon as they showed me it, my first thought was, somebody's gonna get fucked. Like,
Yeah.
oh god.
Yeah. Yeah. So, like,
Somebody just ruined their entire life.
yeah, like it completely sucks for this. This sucks for the developers, and it sucks
Yes.
for the fans at the end of the day because I don't care. I don't mean this in a nasty way towards the Rockstar people who are coming out saying this has not delayed anything or anything like that. I don't believe you.
No.
I don't believe you whatsoever. This for me, they were saying the rumors were saying that they were aiming for 2024. There's no doubt about it. Let's be frank. We probably still even thinking we're going to hit 2024 because of just how you guys are so very very specific when it comes to your creating your games and everything. And you want to make sure this game is detailed as hell and amazing and everything. So half the time, like, wow, how many times was Red Dead 2 delayed? Like 4 times, I think it was, from its original date. It's got original window it was picked for. And everything. So, like, this, for me, it's probably been pushed. If it was going to hit 2024, it's probably been pushed now to 2025. Maybe more, depending if what this kid's saying he actually has.
Yeah,
and it also depends on... I don't know much about source codes or anything like that. Like, I've spoken to, like, a couple of my teams at work and everything like that. And, like, some of them are, like... are saying that they've probably moved on from that source code by now and the source code has already evolved into something different to what that previous version was. But I don't know at the same time. Like, I'm only going off what I'm hearing, what I've been told from what people who I work with and everything. So
yeah.
But yeah, like at the end of the day, what we know, the kid's been arrested apparently.
Yes.
He's been apprehended right now, and he's still probably trying to negotiate and everything. But what I did love was, as always, well, don't let me rephrase that. I'll rephrase to what I didn't like was, as always, the internet broke when it came to the capital G gamers thinking this was actual proper gameplay that was going to release and everything.
Let's hold on this part for a bit. The reaction. So I spent Sunday night, Monday, and I think Tuesday, like scrolling through social media, just reading all of the takes that were going to turn into memes by people who definitely understand how video games are made. Who were like, man, this GTA, I can't believe how shit this looks. Okay, what? One, for where that footage probably sits in terms of like how in terms of like how long they've been working on the game at the point that footage was recorded, it actually looks really good. That actually looks really fucking good for how like far along in development they are. So like, if anything, it looking the way it does is a good sign. But
yeah, no doubt about it, because like for me, GTA 5 has not aged well. It hasn't. For me, when GTA 5 was released, I didn't think it looked the greatest then. And that was like the back end of PlayStation 3 era, and then the Xbox 360 era, and then obviously they migrated and remastered, re-released into the new consoles and everything. But I never felt like it was ever the best looking game ever, personally. But the what I have seen from the the alpha footage of GTA 6, I'm just like, damn, that's a step up, and that's what it looks like then.
Yeah,
this could be one of the best looking games they've ever released, and
like
that's amazing to think.
I had to feast on the terrible comments because they were really funny to me personally. Like, and I don't know anything about game development. But I knew they were really funny. Like the guy that went completely viral and became the next copy paste meme. You know, everybody knows you do the art first. Literally, like I wish I had your confidence in being wrong, because my life would be so much better if I had that amount of confidence to be so wrong. but just not give a shit. You do the art first. You do the art first. Everybody knows you do the art first. They're just doing the back end stuff now. I'd love to ask that guy some questions, including, but I think my main one would be, what do you think back end stuff is? Just out of curiosity, because I really want an answer to that question. Unfortunately, he's locked his Twitter account.
Oh, hell yeah.
Understandably.
I had a bad take.
Became an internet sensation. It's not that you have a bad take. It's when you have a bad take and then you double down on it and you go at it with the bravado and confidence of like someone who actually knows what they're talking about.
And then developers come at him and it was just like...
And then the developers are like, what are you talking about? And he's just
what
like...
are you honestly talking about?
No, I definitely know what I'm talking about. It's like there's a Twitter. It's like a Twitter account that like posts things like that where someone will say something very wrong about something like video game development, and then someone will reply to that and say, no, it's actually like this. Like there was a kickoff about skill-based matchmaking in Call of Duty, and someone posted like this old Twitter thread, and someone was like, oh man, like they didn't have skill-based matchmaking in Call of Duty Modern Warfare or Black Ops, and those games were amazing. And then someone replied saying, actually all of those games had skill-based matchmaking. And then you can see, you already know where this is going. Then the other person argues back, going, no, they didn't. Like, how would you even know? And then
I worked on it
because I worked on Black Ops 2. That was the reply.
Yeah. Of course it was.
It's like, come on, man.
Capital G gamers are absolute muppets. They really are out there. But yeah, I'm just glad like to see like 9 times out of 10. I don't know if it's just because of what's happening. Like people are coming more and more out there right now when it comes to it, but I'm just seeing a lot more of the developers that are coming back are like, yo, you want to, if you don't like our games, that's fine, but if you're gonna start talking shit about us or threatening us, we're gonna fight back. And I'm seeing that a lot lately, and I'm
more
thinking,
on that later.
Finally at long last. And I think like so it kind of like leads into the response of like from the game devs, like
I love
mobile
this.
studios releasing alpha footage of their games, singing, this is what our game looked like.
Sure.
But a year before it was meant to come out and everything. Like, I think Insomniac released Sword Spider-Man. This is what Spider-Man looked out.
Yes.
I think it was like 8 months to 12 months before the game was meant to come out. So this is what it looked like, you morons. And what have you got?
There was so many highlights. The Control, someone released Control. The early footage of Control.
Broken.
And it was like,
that was
wow,
broken.
it was fucked. And like, the boxes that just said throw me.
That alpha build, that build was massively broken. And I'm just like, wow.
That game was incredible. The other anecdote I really liked was how in Mass Effect 3, so the third game in a series, Commander Shepard's character model didn't have a head until like 3 months before release. And I was like, this is amazing. I need more of this. Maybe this is why I've been watching No Clip again. Because like, so it was really funny timing that like all of this kicked off the way it did. The art's done first, etc., because literally, so on Sunday when it all kicked off, and on Saturday I'd been doing research for my Dishonored 2 video, and I'd literally been watching early prototype footage of like one of the levels. So it was literally like grey boxes and no animations, and I was just like, all right, cool. Like, and I'm just watching it going, this is awesome. Like, saw some ideas that they didn't incorporate in the game, and how like things progressed and stuff, and I was like, cool, this is just really good and interesting in general, but B, really good research. And then the next day, Grand Theft Auto, which looked way better than the prototype footage I had been watching, and everybody's like, this looks terrible. If you say so. I mean, I disagree. But no, I love seeing like that kind of like stuff being shared. You know what I mean? Like the just the openness of like, hey, this is what our game looks like. This is how we made it. Like the Horizon Zero Dawn, which I'd already seen because that was I think that was literally from the No Clip documentary, the footage where it was like, here's how we did the robots, and it's like all the weak points are just colors on a gray thing, so you can see them all, so they can test all the weak points out. And it's just like, this is cool because I obviously know what it looks like finished. It looks amazing. This is just a fun thing to watch. But it sucks, man. Leaks suck. Leaks suck so bad. I hate them.
There's not about leaks are the biggest pain in the backside. Like I hate them, especially when it comes to like around conference area, like when at E3 and everything.
We'll talk about
when
that.
when that was always happening and whatnot. Like I hated and despised that. I hated it when for The Last of Us Part 2.
Yeah.
That was disgusting and deplorable for us. Not only how people took it and took everything out of context, and not because they didn't play the game, they didn't know how it was going to be handled and everything in the game and everything, and because of that, a lot of reviewers showed their true colors of who they are as people and everything, which they don't get. Why they don't get reviewers? Yeah. Or YouTube content creators don't get the respect that they deserve anymore because they aren't respectable people.
Well, respect is earned. Like, you know,
yeah,
like
but
so.
Coming out and being a bigot is
No, absolutely. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
It's like I remember I was watching a documentary last night that I hadn't seen before, and it was just like a nice reminder that like human beings make video games. And maybe we could all be a bit kinder towards each other, like in both directions. But yeah, then you think about like the Last of Us Part 2, leaks and like certain reactions to that, and it's just like if you have any other reaction, if you have any like negative reaction to it, that's anger. Like if you look at those leaks and like maybe like do it like oh well critical analysis type deal on it, fair enough, like within reason. But like if you're just shouting and screaming on the internet, no, sorry,
you don't deserve anything.
You
don't deserve
leave
anything.
it alone.
Like Campbell, but what this leak has proven as much as I've just shown how capital G gamers think they are so entitled to knowing everything about any game and everything. And this is why developers just don't want to show their game as much as they want to. They want to show you all these cool things they're working on, but because of the reaction that they can get sometimes, they just why should they? Why should they show you anything of any game? They need to because for marketing, so they can have any chance of hopefully breaking even on a game and everything.
Yeah.
But that's just like they don't deserve it at all.
Yeah, I live like I know a lot of people who make games and like the one thing that you all want to talk about is the cool shit that you're doing at work. But then you can do that with like some people who won't like completely blow up over the stupidest things, but then you've got like the people who complained about puddles in Spider-Man, you know what I mean? And it's like it's not worth it. It's not worth getting harassed over a few puddles or a graphical downgrade. You know what I mean? Like, so why bother? And I totally understand that impulse.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. Yeah, like people, let's just be frank here. It's in all forms of entertainment. People just get angry over nothing. Really do. They get angry over nothing. And it's just really, really bad these days. And it's just like, but I'm happy, like I said, I'm happy to see the developers are just like, yo, we're going to stand up for ourselves here. We're getting, this is beyond a freaking joke here. The livelihoods of, let me rephrase that. Like the people who worked on who are working on GTA 6 of like, they've had their entire, the passion project be leaked too early. Like they would have had a plan and everything like that. I don't think deep down, I think Rockstar probably will stick to the plan for the most part. I don't think they'll change the plan as much as what people I think are thinking they're gonna do. And the only thing I think they'll change is that instead of trickling it out like they do normally, I think they might just give you a trailer, a proper trailer. Maybe not a proper trailer, but a trailer. Yeah. Showing that this is GTA 6. Boom. Poisby is full CGI trailer and everything.
Yeah.
But it'll be a trailer, that's it. But then they'll go back to what they were going to do of how they reveal it and everything, and showing it and trickling it out and everything. But other than that,
yeah. But it sucks.
It sucks. It really, really does. And sadly, it's going to happen again.
Like, undoubtedly, whatever the next big game is, I'm sure it's going to get leaked, and they'll someone will have like less fucking facial hair or something, and it'll all start again.
Or you'll be playing a woman again, and
Or you'll be
people will
playing a woman.
whining.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't even touch
Yeah.
on that part. You know, there was the part, there was the people who were misunderstanding how video games were made on one side, and then on the same side, because they're mostly the same person. The people who just complain the character was a woman, which like, fuck off.
Fuck right off. That's just
Fuck
crap,
off. Yeah.
Just fuck right off. Yeah.
Yeah. I'd love to say that we can change topics now. We kind of are, but also not really. Because there were more leaks. Not about GTA. Infamous leaker, TheRealInsider, blows cover and is exposed as DanAllenGaming. This is from Justin Reeve and George Foster. I pulled this from 2 stories over at The Gamer. And they both wrote. The notorious leaker, known as TheRealInsider on Twitter, was recently exposed as DanAllenGaming, a popular content creator on YouTube. DanAllenGaming apparently forgot to change their Twitter profile when replying to a question directed at TheRealInsider, suggesting a connection between the 2 accounts. And what it doesn't actually say in this story is, but I want to put into it myself, is that then that person antagonized Jason Schreier, and Jason Schreier proceeded to end his entire fucking career. By comparing loads
He
of tweets.
He antagonized them way before this.
Yeah. So Jason Schreier just went, boom, there you go, done.
And respect all to Jason come out, he literally did say on the part of that, I know I'm being petty here. I don't care. Basically.
Yeah, basically. DanAllenGaming does not appear to have noticed the slip at first, but when someone posted a screenshot to the social media platform, the accounts belonging to DanAllenGaming and TheRealInsider were both closed. TheRealInsider suddenly rose to notoriety earlier this month for leaking all of the Assassin's Creed games currently in the works at Ubisoft. Allen shared a video on his YouTube channel titled I'm Sorry, where he admits to having created the account and leaking NDA'd information alongside sharing, quote, educated guesses, end quote, that others took as actual leaks. In the video, Allen repeats how ashamed of himself he is before saying that he created the account because he was addicted to the clout and buzz. Allen said, quote, a lot of you are reaching out and saying, well, why the fuck did you do it? Well, to be honest, it's clout. It's the buzz. It's being addicted to the thrill of thousands waiting on what you're going to say. It's pretty much pathetic. It's sad. I've taken for granted my access. I've nearly got 200,000 subscribers, the flexibility of content, all taken for granted for this fucking facade, end quote. Yeah. Don't fuck around with this shit, man.
So, I had to check this up before. When you told me the show notes already, I had to have a look at who this was, because I had no idea who this was whatsoever.
Me neither.
And I had no idea who the real insider was whatsoever.
Me neither.
I never even heard of it. I think I heard that the titles for Assassin's Creed were leaked. And
they were
I
leaked
didn't
beforehand.
realize it was this person and everything. Going back to that though, at the end of the day, you were only sorry because you got caught.
Yeah, basically.
Let's be frank here. You're not sorry. You're sorry that you got caught at the end of the day.
Basically.
Because you would have kept on doing it if you weren't caught and whatnot. At the end of the day, you won't be trusted by anyone in the games industry whatsoever. They are gone. And I'm not gonna lie, I'll be very surprised because of. I'm only going off the research. What I've researched quickly today. I'll be very surprised if he doesn't get sued.
It's entirely possible Ubisoft will sue him because he basically breached an NDA. There's different types of leaks of this nature. You briefly talked about some stuff about E3 stuff. And we'll get into some of that as well. But this is the stupidest one you could possibly do. You've signed an agreement. Regardless of what you think about transparency in the games industry and how transparent game publishers and developers are, you signed an agreement to say that I'm going to get to see all of this stuff and I'm not allowed to talk about it until a certain time. And then you went ahead and decided to talk about it anyway. That's called a breach of contract. So yes, it's entirely probable that Ubisoft will sue you for that. And they're well within their rights to.
Yeah. And do you know what? I would root for them. I would say you deserve to be sued by them. We've stated on many occasions we don't really like the higher ups at Ubisoft whatsoever. We kind of hate the bastards because they're doing nothing to help the developers,
more on that later,
and everything, and whatnot. But at the end of the day, you deserve to get sued, sir, and everything. But like I'll say this, I'm under NDA on two projects that have not been revealed right now. I'm still under NDA. They never stated when I signed it or anything like that when they would reveal these projects and whatnot. But I'm still under NDA, and like I can't say anything until they finally are out, until they are revealed.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but no, and even if when they were revealed, I won't be tweeting out, I've known for this.
Oh, I knew for the last 6 months. I'm better than you. Ha ha ha! Look at me.
Yeah,
like
I don't give a flying hoot deep down.
Do you know how many emails? Sorry.
Go on.
I was going to say, do you know how many emails land in my inbox, my words about games inbox, with embargo written in capital letters?
No,
yeah,
actually, no.
Yeah, no. It's like it'd be like me like getting a game from anyone. And then just streaming it immediately and just being like, well, fuck your embargo, I've got the game now. It's like, no, like when you sign up to get a game, you agree to terms. Like, fucking dickhead, basically.
Dickhead indeed. Yeah. I never knew anything even before the person whatsoever. Never heard of Dan Allen whatsoever.
Sure.
Until
me neither.
Until this.
No.
So
it's
disgusting. It's already like we take the piss out of content creators, like when they go to put their memes up of and everything like that.
Sure.
But they already have a bad clout already. Like journalists can go in and go in and like see things way before them and everything, and they have to work their butt off to try and even just get even a sniff of even getting into some of those type of things what this person has got into before. And yeah, it's just like this person may, I don't know if may or anything like that, but it's a chance he could have damaged content creators because of this, because they're
potentially,
I think studios are going to be now like big ones at least. They're going to be like, yeah, I don't think we need content creators. They never, deep down, like we've known this for a while. They've never needed them at the end of the day because they were always they were always doing well before them and everything. And but it was also another free source for them to be able to show off their content or get their word out for their game. But if they also if they don't need them, they will go back to that if they want to. So like this person could have harmed a lot of content creators in the future and whatnot.
I mean, I mean, I disagree. I think content creators are not content creators like DanAllenGaming, but I think content creators in general are important for.
I never said they weren't important.
Sorry, not needed. I don't know. Maybe I just misunderstood. Anyway, they're important.
No, but I think studios may come out and thinking they.
Sorry,
they weren't needed.
Yes,
they weren't a thing. Years ago, they were never around. It was journalists and everything, and then the streaming things have happened, and content creators have happened over the last 20 years, give or take.
Yeah, I'd say gaming on YouTube exploded in popularity because PewDiePie got scared playing Amnesia, here we are. It was a lot of Let's Players beforehand, and
no doubt about that.
And then it became a thing, like what we have today.
But studios do know they don't need them if they don't want them. They don't need them.
Big studios
don't need them.
Big studios
do not need them.
Probably don't need them. I will agree.
When it comes to like small developers and indie developers, completely
they need them.
agree. Like that. But it also depends on how big that content creator is at the same time, and they're going to be very specific who they pick.
Well,
and I think they're going to be even more specific now when they're going to pick things. They're probably going to be making sure everybody inside, whatever they sign here, and they see any sniff of a leak, they're going to go back through every single person who signed an NDA.
Sure. I think I follow, crazily enough, I've met and follow a lot of PR and marketing people, and I think what a lot of people working in that space kind of agree on is like you don't want to just go for the top content creators. It's sort of like you want to go across the whole spectrum because impact is more important than necessarily numbers. But yeah, this is just part of like a wider culture. Maybe it is caused by like secrets, like game developers and publishers being too secret or too like precious about their games. But we already talked about why that happens before, so I'm not gonna.
It's always gonna be even more tight now.
But like I just hate the whole culture around it. Like game journalism and like reporting on things that publishers and developers don't want you to know about, in my mind, is it's working conditions. You know, it's the bad stuff that publishers and game developers do that I think we do need to know about. Do I need to know all of the titles for Assassin's Creed before Ubisoft is ready to reveal them? I don't know. Why is that important? You know, like do I need to know whatever thing Jeff Grubb has said on another podcast somewhere about, Fire Emblem's in development? Did he need to say that? Does anyone need to know that? No, not really. Like, how are the developers being tracked at the company that makes Fire Emblem? I'm much more interested in that. I think that's much more of a need to know kind of thing. Like, as far as Fire Emblem goes, I can just wait until the direct to find out about it. Like, of course there's no Fire Emblem in development. I don't even think you really need to say it. Oh, but it's coming at as far as people are telling me, it's coming at this time. I'm sick of a lot of it. That's why we don't do any of that stuff on the podcast.
Well, yeah, there's a lot. Like I said, it's a whole thing at the end of the day that why people get angry over the leaks and whatnot, when deep down we should be talking about what's happening in the studios. Are these people in the studios getting treated properly? Are they getting looked after properly? And everything. But sadly,
well,
as always, no one wants to talk about that.
There's an insidious aspect to this about expectation management, because part of the DanAllenGaming thing is he leaked the Assassin's Creed stuff, legitimately leaked it. That was legitimate information that you knew about. Yeah. He also started making guesses about stuff, right? Two of the things he said were going to be in a state of play was the Blue Point were going to remake Metal Gear Solid, and there was going to be a Silent Hill thing, I think. And obviously neither of those things happened because he was just guessing about it, but because he's doing it from the position of the real insider who's been correct about some pretty specific stuff, and now we know why, people will go into that state of play and then get mad about it because Silent Hill and Metal Gear Solid weren't there. And Fire Emblem, it's coming out sometime this year, so naturally there's a direct that happens, and maybe there's no Fire Emblem, and then people get mad, and people don't pay attention to what's actually happening on the screen. And it frustrates the hell out of me because, sure, content creators and journalists shouldn't be just another marketing arm for game publishers and developers, right? We shouldn't just be regurgitating press releases. But at the same time, it's just there's things that I don't think are in the public interest. Because they're just not something that so if you told me off camera, right? Oh, I'm working on this game. Cool. I'd and it might be, say, somehow you're working on the next Silent Hill.
Damn, what you saying?
Right? And sure, that would be exciting to me personally, but why would I tell everybody? What would be the point?
True.
For clout. That would be the only reason I would tell people, because I could be haha, I know the thing. The thing. It's pointless. Yeah. I just leave it and wait.
Alan did say it was all for the clout.
Yeah, I just leave it, because then everybody else can have that exciting moment when it turns up at the next fucking whatever, State of Play, Konami Direct, I don't know. And I just find it all vexing.
But this is the thing about it. It's also, sometimes it's not even content creators or leakers who have leaked it. Sometimes it's journalists who have leaking these things will make it just as bad, where it's just yo, you know what's coming. How about you just shut up and wait until the conference is done, then release it. Then release it. Say, we've known about this for a while, but we wanted to wait until you guys saw it and everything like that. Be respectful to the people who want to see this and who are excited, but sadly we don't get that.
Yeah, well, it's a lot of so it's a lot of I think it goes back to what I was talking about human beings make video games, right? Sure, there's a corporate marketing plan, and I hate, I'm never gonna go to bat for corporations, but there's people who are excited to reveal their game for the first time, and and like that excitement fizzles out the minute someone puts pen to paper or presses record on a video to say, I know that the next Assassin's Creed will be set in Japan. And then, like, that's it. That thunder's gone. That excitement's gone.
And it sucks.
Sucks for the people who would be excited to see that. Sucks for the people who would be, like, losing their fucking shit. It sucks for the people who are excited to show off their thing for the first time.
Yeah.
The people who have been working on Grand Theft Auto 6 who are super excited to finally show it when it's ready. And now it's just been non-stop bollocks for the last week. Like, how fucking much would that suck if that was you?
I would probably think I would hate it. I don't deny that. But like I say,
that is a wide question to just people watching this podcast. Put yourself in those shoes and just think about it. Like, how much would that fucking suck if that was you? You'd been working on this thing and you're really excited, and then someone leaked a bunch of it, but they leaked the older version of it that doesn't look as good. And now that's the thing. That now, when everybody's thinking about GTA 6, that's the thing they're thinking of.
The good thing is that for the most part, the gamers are very forgetful.
Yeah, we'll forget about this once the trailer comes, and we get to see the proper game. We will. We will, definitely.
No doubt.
Gamers are idiots. Like, most of them are like fucking goldfish. They probably already forgot all about it. I'm sure there'll be a black person in something, and then they'll forget all about GTA 6. All right, we got a quick one. Little island of niceness. It's almost halftime, I promise. Xbox announces Project Amplify to support black youth looking to get a career in the gaming industry. This is from Victoria Kennedy over at Eurogamer. He writes, a new initiative has been announced by Xbox known as Project Amplify. This project has been launched as part of National Historically Black Colleges and Universities, HBCU, Week in the United States. It consists of, quote, a video series that aims to magnify black voices within Xbox to inspire, educate, and motivate youth across the US to aspire towards careers in the gaming industry through real-life storytelling from black leaders and employees across the Xbox ecosystem, end quote. This sees 14 black Xbox employees offering up advice to others that are looking to get into the industry. Each will share insight into their jobs as well as revealing some of their own career highlights. Xbox shared, quote, this video series is meant to educate youth on the diversity of roles within the gaming industry while highlighting some of the black people who are working in those roles daily, end quote. One of those sharing their story as part of this initiative is James Lewis, a senior business development manager at Xbox. Quote, in my early years, I was more focused on what not to do versus what I could be. It wasn't until my adult years that I learned to leverage my passion for games into a career. I'm now incredibly thankful to be celebrating 10 plus years in my dream career, and I hope Project Amplify inspires people to dream and take action toward their goals. As my coaches and mentors would say, play to win instead of playing to not lose, end quote.
This sounds like an amazing thing. So that's what we want to hear. It's what we want to see in the industry and everything. Especially like with what happened like years ago when it came out about Mixer and everything about them.
Yeah.
And whatnot. This is like obviously a good turnaround to see what has happened. It's took a few years, but at the end of the day, change does sadly take time. But no, yeah, this is what you want to see. You want to see more diverse voices out there in the industry, and
yeah, it's good. I mean, I like this as a thing for getting more black people, black young people especially, into like maybe doing something that they love and they're really passionate about. I love that for everybody, but for them as well. I like the idea that this is also aiming at the diversity of roles within video games, because you always hear about like the art department, the coding department, QA testing. There's a whole other side to video game development. There's like production, business management, marketing, comms. Like, if you can't do art and you can't code, then and you can't do like design, like there's still a job for you in the games industry. There's still something you can do in the industry, and I think that's just something that I think we should push like a bit more. Like, yeah, it's cool to be the artist and like or the level designer and build the cool level that everybody's talking about. But like you could work on production. You could be a producer and help plan the game and make sure it hits its milestones. Like that's also cool. That's also being part of the game development team. So I really like that as well. And as someone who has taken a similar sort of motto to heart, the thing that James Lewis says at the end, where he says, like, as my coaches and mentors would say, play to win instead of playing to not lose, like, that's just fantastic life advice. I feel like I've only really started doing something like that in the past sort of year or so. But honestly, like, do that. Whatever your version of that is, do it. You'll have to see it. Halftime? Should we get for like next year, should we get a whistle? Because that's a thing, right? It's halftime, they blow a whistle, right?
No.
We shouldn't get a whistle.
No.
Okay. What if it wasn't like a football whistle, but it was like a novelty whistle and it blew like a weird tune or something? Would that make it better or worse?
I think worse.
Okay. I'll keep workshopping it. But for now, it's time for Indie Game of the Week. This is the thing we do every week where we highlight one cool-looking upcoming indie game that's made us look at it, or one of us at least, and look at it and go, I like that. I'm going to put it in our Discord, and then Amy grabs the link and puts it in the Google Doc. This week's Indie Game of the Week is Uncle Chop's Rocket Shop. On an asteroid-bound service station in an unfrequented space lane, Wilbur carves out a paltry living as a mechanic, repairing as many ships as he can to afford the ever-rising rent payments to his tyrannical boss, Uncle Chop. Where most of his customers find meaning in pastimes like worshipping deranged space gods, dropping random crap in a giant black hole, endlessly digging for the ultimate treasure, or mentally enslaving donut shop workers, Wilbur lives a more humble life, fixing the galaxy's ills one broken module at a time. Using a range of tools, diagnostic services, devices, parts, and workshop appliances, you'll be correcting faults in the modules of procedurally generated spaceships. Narrative and random events, hidden puzzles and upgrades, secret lore, we got all that goodness that ensures each day and gameplay run will feel substantially different from the last. Meeting those escalating rent payments ain't going to be easy, but chin up, champ. Station upgrades purchasable with a secondary currency will persist across gameplay runs, making life a little more tolerable every time around. Uncle Chop's Rocket Shop is being developed by Beard Envy, great name, and published by Casado Games, and is coming TBA to PC via Steam. There's a link in the description down below, so you can go and wishlist the game. Go read the rest of the description. It's a long description. I cut a lot of it out. We would have been here for a while, but I appreciate it because it's very in-depth. It looks fun. This was an E3 game. I'm going back and like pulling from the E3 grab bag of cool games that we never got around to talking about. And this looks like fun. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, it is. Mm-hmm. It's time for part 2 of the podcast, maybe. What have we been playing this week?
I played and completed today. Return to Monkey Island. Yes, I've completed.
I did not know you'd done that.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah. Return to Monkey Island obviously is just a brief glimpse of the story. I'll tell you. It's been years since Guybrush Threepwood has been locked in battle of wits with his nemesis, the zombie pilot LeChuck. His true love, Elena Marley, has turned her focus away from governing, and Guybrush himself is adrift and unfulfilled. Having never found the secret to the Monkey Island, hip young pilot leaders led by Captain Mason have shuttled the old guard from power. Melee Island has been taken for the worst, and famed businessman Stan has been imprisoned for marketing related crimes. I was so excited for this game, and I really, really enjoyed what I played. I think it's there's no doubt about it, I think it is one of my favorite games of the year so far. Really had a lot of fun with it. The art style is so good.
It's so good.
It is so good, and it's even more better when you play it. It is
Awesome.
really more better when you play it. It's so colorful, it's so lifelike, and so well done. I really had a lot of fun with this. The gameplay is really like it's a point and click adventure game. It's puzzles that can be varies of difficulty to however you decide. They've got a helpful handy book where you decide if you want too many help hints or and everything like that, or if you just want that one little hint, and then you can unravel it yourself. I think that's really helpful. What really helped, and I think might actually help you, is that because you've never played these games before, if I remember
It's
rightly.
on the list.
Yeah.
Yes.
There is a sketchbook at the beginning of the opening in the main menu, which tells you brief glimpses of the story.
Awesome.
It tells you like basically the history of Guybrush's adventures and everything, and just helps you catches you up and everything like that, and especially because it's been years since the
been a
last
while.
one for this, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's been a long time. The characters are, like I say, very well realized. The voice acting is really well done. I really enjoyed the music. The music's really well done. It's really chirpy. It's really fun. The new characters that put in, like Captain Madsen. She's really funny. I really enjoyed her to the part of like she was over the top funny for me. I think those three people who have took over from the old guard. Like I really enjoyed the over the topness for me, and it really worked for me. Elena is still a badass, where she's just like, I don't need you. We are together. We are married, and everything like that. And I'll always help you and be there for you. But I'm going to go off and do my own thing as well, and everything like that. So, and you see throughout the story, like the story says, like he's adrift and Guybrush is adrift and he's unfulfilled, and you see that throughout all of it. He's trying to do all these things. He's trying to want to do this. He's trying to do this one little thing that he was never able to do the first time, and that's to try and find out the secret of Monkey Island. And it's really, I think that's a really well done story all the way to the end. For the most part, I think the ending for me worked. I have seen people being a little bit diverse when it comes to the ending. I think because I knew what Guybrush was going through. Like he felt on adrift, he felt unfulfilled and everything like that. Kind of like how I was in my old job before I got to where I am now. And
That's a mood.
It's a mood, yeah. I think it's. I enjoyed the ending. Apparently, there's more endings. Like there's multiple endings. So, I will have to have a look at that. I haven't had a chance to look at that. There's one downside, and that is Act 4. I felt Act 4 was a bit of a slog for me.
How many acts
It was
are there?
a lot.
How many acts
5.
are there? 5.
5, yeah. Act 4 was a bit of a slog for me. It's arguably the longest act, apart from probably the second act.
Okay.
But yeah, the Act 4 was a bit of a slog to the part of like, it was just so much backtracking. Going to have to go, you get this one thing to realize I have to go back to go and get this other thing, to then go back to this thing to find out I have to go back to go and do another thing to get another thing. And it was like,
Okay.
oh, that could have been a little bit better done. But because the characters are so enjoyable and fun, I'll get past it a little bit. But it did feel like the fourth act was a bit of a drag. But overall, Return to Monkey Island, I really enjoyed. I had a lot of fun with it. It brought me back to the roots of what I grew up with on of like playing the Monkey Island series and everything. Yeah, if they want to do more, bring it on. I can't. I would love to. I would love to. If they feel like this is a definitive end for themselves, I think I felt for myself, not like what I've done in my life. This is a definitive end. So I had a lot of fun with this.
Nice.
And I think yeah, it's a well deserving for the love it's getting. So
excellent. It got really good reviews. Really good reviews.
I didn't expect that. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't. I just thought the review generation.
This generation.
Yeah.
This generation. Yeah. Get off my lawn, you kids.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. Well, it's installed because I noticed you'd bought it on Steam before we talked about it.
Yesterday, yeah.
So I literally I was playing something on Steam. And finished playing it, and the activity page came up where it shows you what everybody on your friends list is doing. And I was like, Daft Moody is purchased Return to Monkey Island, and I went, let me just install that. So it's in. Yeah, a couple of people had told me about the sketchbook at the beginning, and like, you can catch up. And I was like, cool, because like that was my one thing where I was like, I do actually really want to play this. It looks awesome, but I've never played the other ones. It sounds like that's not going to be a deal breaker.
Yeah, it shouldn't be.
So I'll probably play it at some point. What I did play this week that I can talk about was a little puzzle game called Railbound. So I played Metal Hellsinger. I'm not going to add anything to that from what I said last week. So if you want to know my thoughts on Metal Hellsinger, just go and watch last week's episode. And like before that, I played Steel Rising, and before that, I played Dishonored 2. And I was like, as far as video games go, I need to take it down a notch. I need to chill a bit, right? I played like a heavy metal rhythm shooter and a fucking Souls-like. It's like, okay, it's time to calm down. So like Railbound, it's a puzzle game where you draw lines to connect train tracks, so that you can connect like train cars to a train. And you have to do it in like specific orders. So like the cars are numbered, and then the further in you go, there's like 8 worlds. And the further in you go, like it adds like a new like wrinkle to it, where it's like, there's one world where the new mechanic is the cars have to stop at specific stops to pick up little cats before they can go on. Or there was a mechanic where it added where it's tunnels, where you go in tunnels and out of tunnels, and you got to figure out how to get everything around. And so it was on Steam, and I was looking at it on Steam. And then I saw that it was available on mobile, and I wasn't at my computer. So I looked up the mobile version, and the mobile version was like more than half the price of the Steam version. So I went, I'm gonna play this on mobile. And it works really well on mobile because you're doing the thing with the tracks. You can just use your finger to draw the train tracks on. So it was like really, really intuitive. And like I had a good time with it. Like I've more or less finished the main puzzles. Because it's 8 worlds, there's 150 levels, but a lot of those are you'll play like one level, and then you solve it, and then it unlocks like a variation which is more difficult. Like a kind of like a B-side almost. So like if you imagine like the puzzles in the main levels as being like little brain teasers, like they make you think about stuff for like a couple of minutes, and before you've messed around, and you go, oh, I can see how to do this, blah, 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 do it. And then like the other levels are like brain head scratchers where you'll be looking at them for ages going, how do trains work? But they're fun. The only thing I will say about Railbound is it's very cute, it's very cozy, it's got an awesome art style, very, very cartoony, and you get these cool little postcards from the people going on the travels. But World 8 features such a massive jump up in terms of the difficulty. So like the final world, the difficulty spike is tremendous, because the mechanic that you're drawing upon in that world is timing. So if you've got 4 cars labeled 1, 2, 3, and 4, you've got to get them to the train in that order, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So you've got to try and draw the tracks around so that they won't crash into each other, but also that they'll get there in the right order. And it requires like timing to get them in that way. And I was like, oh, damn. This is testing an entirely different part of my brain to the entire rest of the game. So I used the hint system. And the hint system is really good. What it does is you can enable it in the accessibility options. And like if you hit it, it'll show you like a couple of bits, like how to place a couple of tracks. So you can like sort of go, okay, so there has to be a track here that points in this direction, or a track here that points in this direction. Then you put those down and you look at it and you go, okay, so how does everything connect, knowing that? And if you still can't get it, you can push the button again and it'll show you a couple more bits. And then it does that. So if you hit the hit system, it doesn't show you the whole thing all at once. It'll like slowly unfold the puzzle for you. So most of the time when I did use the hint system, I only had to hit it once, because once it showed me a couple of bits, I was like, I get it now. But I thought it was a really, really neat touch. You can also just unlock all the levels. Like, there's an accessibility button. You just push the button and all the levels get unlocked. And what was fun?
Accessibility.
What was funny was I was showing, because it's definitely the kind of mobile game my mum would really enjoy. So I was showing her it, and I said, "Oh, there's a hint system if we get, because we got stuck." And I guess this says a lot about mobile gaming. But she said, "Oh, how much does that cost?" And I was like, "It doesn't. This is it's not that kind of video game. This is an indie game, not a mobile game. You just push the button and it's done. I paid the money for the game. I don't have to pay anything else for any of the other bits." It was fun though. Like, it's quite short. Doesn't take long to beat the levels. But I haven't gone back for the challenge, the more challenging levels yet. Like, I did a couple, and then I was just like, nope, not today.
Not today.
That's it. Railbound. You should check it out on Steam, on iOS, on Android.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. Shall we move on?
Let's crack on.
As I laid it out in the message I sent to you, it was, we start, and then we go to hell. And then there's a nice little island of niceness in the middle, and then we go back to hell again. But then we finish.
Then we go to hell.
Hey, whatever you do in your own personal time, it's nothing to do with me. You're going to go and try and get your hoodie back, aren't you?
Probably, yeah.
Oh, well, good luck. I salute your bravery. All right, let's go. Former Rocksteady employee turns down sponsored award following sexual harassment allegations. This is from Ed Nightingale over at Eurogamer. He writes, a former Rocksteady employee has turned down a Women in Games award following allegations of sexual harassment at the developer. Kim McCaskill, who worked as a writer of the studio, including on the forthcoming Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League game, was recently nominated for a Lifetime Achievement Award by the non-profit organization. McCaskill took to Twitter to explain her stance. Quote, when I received the nomination, I couldn't sit for a whole day with beaming pride. I saw a problem with juniors struggling to get a break. I stood up, I asked for change, I pushed for change, I spent endless hours founding a scheme called Play It Forward, and the industry listened. But then I saw Warner Brothers Rocksteady's logo on the poster, and all that joy just sank, end quote. In 2018, McCaskill led a letter signed by 10 of the company's 16 female staff at the time that raised complaints about behaviour. As The Guardian reported in 2020, the letter included, quote, slurs regarding the transgender community and discussing a woman in a derogatory or sexual manner with other colleagues, and sexual harassment in the form of unwanted advances, leering at parts of a woman's body, and inappropriate comments in the office, end quote. Rocksteady then released a statement stating it met with female staff, listened, and dealt with issues raised. In a statement following the nomination, McCaskill said Rocksteady attempted to resolve the situation with money. Quote, after an investigation, there were resolution offers. They've offered me money. Lots. They've offered to put my name back on the game, something the studio director refused to promise after my departure. Classy. They offered some cool stuff, but I've said no to all of it. All I want is an apology, and last week I even asked for it. Hell, I half begged. I just want this to be resolved, but not like that. Not with money. How does anything change that way? Somehow in 2022, an apology is still too great a cost for Warner and Rocksteady to bear. End quote. She claimed that, quote, Warner Brothers investigations are crooked, end quote, and, quote, Rocksteady is image over retention. To take an award connected to them would be an unspoken acceptance of what they did. Again, thank you to everyone who has supported me, celebrated with me, been sad with me, and to Women in Games, I only ever support you. I offer my shield and support to all other nominees. Take this and be proud. It's just not my year. Even if the concept of being a woman for this award, standing down because of a connected company that almost broke me for having a vagina seems bizarre, end quote. She ended with a final statement to Warner and Rocksteady, quote, "Take accountability, apologize, stop enabling bad behavior. You can throw your name on every diversity event going, but unless you take accountability, it means nothing, and I see you," end quote. Kotaku contacted McCaskill, who explained she approached Warner Bros. About declining the award and that she wanted to resolve the situation. The publisher told her it was not open to discussion.
First, I just want to say the headline to this story is really, really skews badly. Former Rocksteady employee turns down sponsorship award following sexual harassment. It kind of
It skews in the opposite direction, right?
Yeah, yeah. And I was just, when I went, thankfully because I know her and everything like that, and she was obviously talking about it, obviously
Yeah.
on Twitter and everything. I read a thread when she was tweeting it out and everything. I was just like, oh, okay.
I get it now.
That title is just really wrong. It doesn't. It says the opposite to me, and it was very confusing. And even some of us even said that to her. Some of the people I saw said that to her, and she was like, "Yeah, I can't do anything about that."
She
basically
she doesn't
couldn't.
work at Eurogamer, you know. It's like
Yeah, but yeah, it's for respect and fair play to her and everything like that. Like, understandable. As she like, I only know like little bits of like obviously what she revealed and everything, what she went through and everything, and that's she's just a person who's just like she says, she's like, this ain't about money.
Yeah.
So just fucking own it. Just apologize. Things will be a lot more easier if you just apologize, and they just don't want to. Like I said, this is sadly just corporations in general. They don't want to apologize. They don't want to do any of these things to say they say
we did something wrong.
that they are wrong. Yeah, and everything. They don't want to do that. None of them do. Sadly, even one of my favorite companies in the world, Disney, they don't want to apologize when they do something fucking stupid. And they've done a lot of things stupid of late thanks to Bob fucking Chapek. But yeah, it's just like all of them do it, and it's disgusting. And like, but Kim, like, she's amazing, and like for coming out and just standing even more firm than I think she, more firm than ever. And it's just amazing. And I'm just like, I love her to bits, and I'm just like rooting for you all the time here, Kim, and like, you're not alone.
No, it's good. It's unfortunately, like, things don't get better unless people do stand firm. It takes people standing up to this kind of thing, you know, and it's never easy. The consequences are usually pretty bad. And like, I have all the respect for people who can stand up like this, even though it's probably going to cost them. In this case, an award, I'm sure it's cost Kim a lot more than that. To because it's what, 4 years now, according to the article. Yeah. And yeah, like, fucking Christ, it's 2022 and we're still having these conversations. Like, I just need them to get it together, Moody. I need companies to just get their fucking shit together. But
sadly, they aren't, because of management and leadership.
Yeah, unfortunately, the leadership will not do that, which means I'm stuck in Groundhog Day. At least it feels like it. But that's fine. We'll keep going. I got a big drum. It's metaphorical. Can't see it, and I'll just keep banging it. Oh no, I should have done like in Lord of the Rings. You know, where they all stamp their feet. I should have used that as the metaphor. 2 towers, all the orcs outside. And they're like, bam, bam, bam. And everybody's like looking in the rain. And then the guy says, and so it begins. You know.
Theater.
Yeah, that guy. I don't know. I haven't seen it for years because no one has it on streaming services. But yeah, no, this to get back to the point, because I feel like I meandered a little bit there. All the respect in the world to Kim McCaskill for this. I wish more people would talk about this, but they don't. So, and I can't make them. I wish I could.
But the thing, I've kept up to date, like, on things of that, that what she's like, that's what she's doing, like what she's trying to do. It's said here. I just want to make sure.
Sure.
The play it forward. That is an amazing scheme that she's pushing hard and helping a ton of people, and I can't wait to see what furthermore goes for that. So keep an eye out on Play It Forward, and I think 'cause it's going to be something that that's going to help the industry. I truly believe that she's really working her ass off for that.
No, I don't want to know anything about the 2000 film Pay It Forward. Thank you, Google. Yeah, check out the description below. I'll chuck a link to Play It Forward in there, providing Google gives me something that's not the movie from 2000 that I've never heard of. That's awesome. And also, Women in Games is a really good organization. I just want to throw that out there as well. Like, unfortunately, we live in a society of capitalism, and they need money to do the things that they do. And Rocksteady and Warner Brothers have money, and sometimes you just got to take the money. But they're a really good organization. You should go follow them. Do that, and then go follow Kim McCaskill as well.
She puts out some funny tweets.
She does. She does. I gotta admit, I didn't know who she was until you brought her up on a podcast once. But I'm glad you did. We enrich each other's lives. I like it.
Try.
Well,
we
try. Speaking of not enriching others' lives, maybe my New Year's resolution in 2023 will be to stop with the segues. Like if I stop trying to force segues, because it only really I only really pull it off 1 out of 10 times. Let's be realistic here. I mean, those 1 out of 10 are fucking bangers, but most of the time it's just painful and awkward for everybody involved. But anyway, speaking of painful and awkward for everyone involved, Ubisoft staff call for more change, explanations around harassment. This is for James Batchelor over at GamesIndustry.biz, who writes, Assassin's Creed publisher Ubisoft continues to come under fire from its own workers, with more staff claiming the changes made at the company since the 2020 abuse allegations have had minimal impact. A new report from Axios shares thoughts from staff, including those at the publisher's Paris headquarters, who continue to call for improvements to its workplace. Game designer Marc Ruchelet told the publication, quote, and this is an absolute fucking banger of a quote, by the way, it's not harassers who create toxic culture, it's a toxic culture that produces harassers. We want explanations. The toxic people who left the company, because a large part of them just left and were not fired, never gave any explanation for their behaviour. This will be the opportunity to hear them in a court of law, end quote. Ruchelet is also calling for more structural changes, including the hiring of more women and more transparency around investigations. Other sources speaking to Axios said that the only way the issue has been addressed is that people are more aware of the problems rather than that the problems have been fixed. This is also attributed more to the, quote, brave employees who speak out and continue to speak out, end quote, that it is to management. One source even claims the changes that the company has made are actually having the opposite effect. Quote, all the recent additional harassment, abuse, and D&I training has taught managers how to say the right things, or at least not say the wrong things, and appear to act correctly. But in my experience, much of the change is superficial, end quote. These comments follow a recent interview with A Better Ubisoft, the group formed by current and former employees to campaign for changes to the company's workplace culture. In comments originally sent to Axios, members of the group say management has now stopped answering questions, anonymous or otherwise, about issues not directly related to the agenda of town hall meetings, quote, which means many burning topics can't be publicly discussed, end quote. I scroll too far. Another adding that they believe their report of sexual harassment was only taken seriously because it was presented as a formal complaint. The group also says the company always refers to the issue internally as, quote, a change of culture, end quote, without using more specific terms such as abuse, harassment, racism, sexism, and toxicity, and that management are ignoring the root causes of the issues. Quote, they seem happy to announce that a large number of staff members have not experienced harassment, without taking into account that the majority of staff is less likely to be victims of misconduct, while underrepresented demographics are more likely to experience it, end quote. Another member questioned the effectiveness of the employee surveys Ubisoft says are issued to help identify problems. Quote, there's really no communication regarding what actions they take based on that data, which makes it feel like the surveys are where the actions begin and end, end quote. Finally, one developer said morale at their studio was so low they decided to leave. They attributed this partly to the toxic culture, but also low pay. Quote, that local management openly admit is an issue, but then can't do anything because HQ won't give them the money, end quote.
Well, we've known for a while that Ubisoft higher ups aren't doing anything when it comes to helping their teams in any way. They've actively promoted people who have been harassers, and like one
Or
of
just
them is
move
on
them.
move them on or move them up to other higher positions, or some of them they've just allowed to leave without any repercussions and everything. And who knows what they're doing now in the future?
One of them works at Tencent.
Does he?
Kill me. Yeah, Ashraf Ishmael, one of the former executives of Assassin's Creed. He's now a higher up at Tencent.
Maybe Sean Layden will fire him.
I
don't know.
Awkward.
But I don't know. This Ubisoft, they're just one of those companies right now. Where just they aren't doing anything. They're throwing out games, they're bringing out games and everything. And yeah, I got to. I was excited when I heard that that lady from Expanse was going to be one of the voices in the next Assassin's Creed. I was thinking, God damn you!
Yes.
God, because I love that woman.
Hey.
She is amazing.
Again, it's so the issue of we'll bring this up again. The issue of playing a Ubisoft game is complicated, but you can. Tons of awesome people work on those games. It's not morally bad or anything to play a Ubisoft game or whatever. Hey, go and enjoy it. But one thing I think is funny is oh, that's weird. Funny, not funny, haha. I just want to point that out. They've finally set an Assassin's Creed game in the one setting everybody has wanted forever now. I wonder what could have prompted that. Must be a strong creative vision and nothing to do with the continuing bad publicity they get for stuff like this.
And this is going to sound like it's a slight against this, but it's a mobile game.
Is it?
I think so.
I don't think it was. Assassin's Creed Mirage? Yes, it's the third option.
Mirage isn't the samurai one.
Oh, that's the remake that's not a remake, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hold on. I got this. Assassin's Creed Samurai. It's not called Samurai. Pick a random. Oh my god. No, I don't want cookies. Just making the jump. I don't think it's a mobile game.
I thought it was.
Nah, there probably is a mobile game. It's not that one though. Ghost of Tsushima did it. While Ubisoft were refusing to do it, so
That's true, yeah.
But yeah, sorry. We were talking about that. I just wanted to make that pit stop and just be hey, if you want to play it, that's awesome. Because I know what you'll do. You'll come on this podcast to talk about how great the game is and praise the developers who made it, and then be hey, by the way, the management still terrible.
Yeah,
it's you can do both.
Yeah. They are. The management are still terrible people. They should not be in their positions of power. The CEO is still one of the biggest dicks ever, who's just I'm ignoring all these.
Well, right.
I'm going to keep on doing what I want to do and everything.
I mean,
I'm going to put my son in a position where he's going to make me look even more morally dumb and stupid. And well done.
if you rewind time back to 2020, we put out the question because there's only two possibilities. Yves Guillemot is either terrible at his job or a liar, and there are no other options based on the information that we've seen. And nobody in 2 years has managed to definitively answer the question: is he just a terrible CEO, or is he just a liar?
Well, no one.
It's a trick question. Is both.
That's true. Yeah, but he doesn't do many interviews at the same time, so no one can really ask him these questions.
So there was actually Ubisoft actually put out a statement to GamesIndustry.biz, which was included in the original article, and I read it. It's more or less just the same word salad we've been getting for 2 years, so I didn't bother including it.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ubisoft. You only get to speak on this podcast when you actually say something of substance. I feel like that's fair. I am not a journalist. This is not a journalism podcast. I can do whatever I want. No one's managed to stop me yet. Please, somebody stop me. Yeah, this is more of the same information. It fucking sucks. But it's like Foxes always used to say, like, pressure for change. So let's just keep talking about it and keep reminding them that they suck and that they should do better for all of those amazing people who are doing amazing things, making amazing games.
Yeah, hope so. Like, I am excited to probably try Mirage. I won't lie.
Awesome.
I probably will give Mirage a chance and everything. So,
hey, there are a lot of great ideas in that very first Assassin's Creed.
Even though I won't lie, I'll say this to you, Ubisoft. If you saying this is coming early, like the first 6 months of next year, and you don't show us gameplay, like seriously,
you want to bring that out at the same time as Legend of Zelda?
An Ubisoft game will be fine.
What is it?
I truly believe an Ubisoft game would be.
What is it? Ryan always says, X'd out. I pretend to push a thing and I just missed my shelf entirely. That's not coming out. It's coming out end of next year at the earliest.
Probably, yeah. But I'm just like,
that's not a leak
right now.
That's not a leak. That's a guess.
Yeah.
Be very clear about that.
Yeah. No, but that's what I'm saying. Like they said, I'm pretty sure they said like early next year. I'm just like, well, why haven't you shown gameplay? So that's obviously not early next year.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like
unless Jeff Keighley's got to say, yo, how about you hold off showing gameplay so you can put it on the Game Awards show?
Yeah, just put it on the Game Awards show. I'll get Tyrese from Fast and Furious to come out on stage.
Come on, instead of showing 2 minutes of gameplay, you come on and show maybe 15 seconds of gameplay.
Edited.
Now we're talking, right? I had to bring Jeff Keighley into somehow.
So, we gotta take our digs. He made me watch 2 of his showcases, okay?
And you're gonna watch the third one. I tapped out.
I like the third one. Like I've literally made a friend because I watched last year's Game Awards. So I'm down to watch it. Like I love seeing.
You're just pointing at the wall.
I know. No,
your friend is the wall.
My friend is the wall. That's my friend. I made that friend right there, Little Among Us. No, like I like watching it for the developer stuff. Like I'll wade through the torrent of shit. Like the Game Awards is taking place on the coast of the United Kingdom, like to get to like those rare good moments. And I was gonna say something else, but then you gave me an opportunity to take the piss out of Jeff Keighley, and I took it, and I shouldn't have took it, but unfortunately, I'm not a paragon of virtue.
Do it.
And I'm still mad about Gamescom.
I'm still mad about
Summer Game Fest. I know. Yeah, right.
I'm still mad at both of them.
See, I just got over Summer Game Fest, and then Gamescom happened. And by the time I get over that, Game Awards is going to happen. The gameplay thing. The gameplay demo thing. Is that not... The reason like a lot of developers maybe or publishers maybe don't show gameplay, is that not answered by what we were talking about at the beginning of the podcast, where it's like we were talking about Mass Effect, right? Where it's like until like 3 months before the end of development, Commander Shepard didn't have a head, which I'm guessing probably made gameplay capture kind of difficult.
But we also know when it comes to the big studios that they will pull a separated team.
This is
just
true.
to create a gameplay thing that will probably be completely not in the game whatsoever, but it's just to show off the initial idea. There's no doubt about it. True. Yeah, it could be either one. It could be really either one. They could be like, no, we don't want to do this, or they're just like, no, the game's not ready.
Yeah.
We still need, obviously, because they haven't put a date on it. That's the thing about it. They haven't put a date on it. They just said early next year. Well, we'll see what happens.
I'll be honest, I didn't look at the Ubisoft stuff, so I didn't really see I knew what had happened,
yeah.
And I am kind of interested, like the one that they teased, which seems to be like set in like the Germany and like with the witches and stuff. Like that one kind of piqued my interest a little bit. We'll see. I haven't played Assassin's Creed since Odyssey.
I only knew about it because of that lady.
Yeah.
So, when I saw she was in it, I was like, damn you!
Ubisoft! Oh, man. Anyway, let's move on. We got one more news story. Apex Studio has to remind players not to be dicks to developers. This is from Rich Stanton over at PC Gamer, who writes, recent times have seen some gaming companies, and most notably Bungie, step up their efforts to shield staff from the more unpleasant elements of fandom. In Bungie's case, the studio is taking action against not only cheaters, but serial harassers of its staff who have issued violent threats. Now, Respawn, the Vince Zampella-led studio behind Apex Legends and Titanfall, rest in peace, has felt it necessary to warn elements of its community about their behaviour. Quote, recently we have seen increased harassment towards members of our development team. We welcome community input, however, the line between constructive feedback and the harassment of our dev team cannot be crossed, end quote. The studio goes on to basically say, chat shit, get banged. Quote, we want to remind our players that we have a zero-tolerance policy for threats and the harassment of our developers. We will take appropriate action to ensure the health and safety of our team. We love hearing feedback and will continue to work alongside our community to foster a respectful, collaborative environment and uphold the competitive integrity of our game, end quote. I just want to say, I clicked on the tweet. It was one of those classic game development tweets where it was like an image. And it's the text. And I clicked on it because Leanna Ruppert, who works at Bungie, had retweeted it. That's how I found it. And I made the mistake everybody on social media makes. Let me just scroll down. And there's some really nice comments from people I follow, because I follow nice people, more or less. And then considering it's a statement about, hey, PC Gamer's very succinct headline says, don't be dicks to developers. And literally, people, there's so many replies scrolling through, and it's just there's something going on in the Apex community. I can't remember specifically what it was, but they're asking for something. Ranked. I think it's something to do with ranked mode. And, on this thing where it's hey, stop harassing our developers, and it's literally, there's so many people just being yeah, I don't care about this. I want this thing. Where's this thing? Where's this thing? Where's this thing? Oh, well, maybe you should fix this thing before and then you wouldn't get harassed. And it was just on and on and on and endless. And I died a little inside. And
what happens if you delve deep into it?
And I got a lot of use out of the block button. But yeah, I went too deep, basically, is what I'm saying.
Should never go too deep, yeah.
It happens. That's what she said. Yeah, it's I don't know what's prompted this specifically, but I think I got a taste of it when I looked at the post. And why would really take it away? Because I'm just gonna.
At the end of the day, just don't be a dick.
Just don't be a dick.
Let's just be frank here. Just don't be a dick, and because you're not entitled to. If a certain thing should be maybe improved upon in the game or anything like that, it doesn't mean you're entitled to that thing. If this is their vision is more important than your vision. You want to create a game, fuck off and go and study and learn and freaking then create your own game, because you don't deserve anything when it comes to video games at all. It comes to a lot of yous. You're not entitled to any of it. So literally, fuck off.
Ooh,
There.
the microphone came up, so you really got to focus on the part where you said "fuck off."
Yeah, I'm sick of it.
Fuck off.
I think the whole theme of this entire episode is literally like capital G gamers who think they're entitled to certain things, and you're not entitled to anything. It is a privilege to play video games. It is a privilege that the incredible work that video game developers do for you to fucking be able to enjoy their stuff, and then to think that you think, oh, I don't enjoy it, so I'm gonna fucking harass you. Are you that maniacal stupidity, idiot, moron, basement dwelling twat that you need to do these type of things? No, you do not need to do these things. You are not entitled to them. Piss off. If you don't like Apex, play something else.
Sorry, I was just giving you the space. It's just like, this is Amy's turn to be quiet. I mean, right? Like, hey, Apex Legends Battle Royale. You know, there's loads of other ones. And like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, if something's bugging you about Apex, let's go fucking play Overwatch is coming out in like a week. Go play that. Like, don't harass people for anything, for any reason. Like, oh, there's something broken in I almost called it Titanfall. That was wishful thinking. Oh, there's something broken in Apex Legends. Like, okay, I guarantee you the developers know. I guarantee.
Yeah,
they're the ones who they know more than you.
They would have known before you would have known.
Yeah, right. That's how game dev works. And like, oh, they're fixing it. Okay, well, they're fixing it. Like, if it's broken or it needs changing, and they know it needs changing, and they know it's broken, they'll fix it, because that's game development. But here's the thing, like, the lesson that everybody should have learned when game developers started responding to GTA 6, to the people responding to GTA 6 leaks, which is games don't just hatch out of an egg, fully formed and ready to be played. Like, game development is hard work and it takes time. Like, if something needs to change or something needs to be fixed in Apex Legends, Respawn will be working on that. Not right now, it's Sunday. What am I thinking? Like, I was going to be like, what time is it in LA? Oh, no, wait, it's Sunday. They'll be working on it. Like, and harassing them is going to slow the process down, because then they've got to deal with that on top of dealing with the fix, right? Like, do you really think someone who is a game developer is going to work better if their phone is constantly blowing up because you're all harassing them and sending them threats over a game mechanic in a video game? Or do you think they're going to work worse because that's also going to be on their mind? It's a trick question. I know the answer. Like, PC, I picked a PC gamer story because, like, you know, I go through all the different sites when I'm looking for news, because, like, the fucking headline says everything you need to know. Apex Studio has to remind players not to be dicks to developers. Stop being dicks to developers. Literally, like, you know, if developers didn't do anything, you wouldn't have any fucking games to play. So go fuck off. I've had enough of yous.
Yeah.
And that's coming from someone who is not a developer and is a video game player. I can't even call myself a gamer anymore because you've ruined that for me.
You are Amy.
Sometimes I stare at the television with a controller in my hand.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shooting games out this week?
Why not?
Games out this week. On September 27th, every game in the fucking universe is coming out. We've got The Legend of Heroes Trails from Zero coming to PlayStation, Switch, and PC. Grounded 1.0 launches on Xbox and PC. Dawnkeeper launches on PC. Moonscars launches on PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, PC, and Game Pass. Hoko Life launches on PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, and PC. The Fridge is Red launches on PC, and Aeroheart launches on PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. And if that's not enough games for you, on October 28th, Never Awake comes out on PC, and Death First, Let It Die comes to PlayStation. On September 29th, Valkyrie Elysium comes to PlayStation and PC, and Brewmaster comes to PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, and PC. And lastly, on September 30th, Witchy Life Story comes to PC. Lots of games. September has been brutal for the number of games that are just assaulting my backlog right now. Some good ones in there. Like, I'm looking at the thing. I've put little stars next to the ones where I'm like, I want to play this. There's too many little stars, Moody. I can't do it.
I was going to say, like, yeah, I saw the stars. I was thinking, well...
I can't play all those games.
I'm
but
like
I want to.
I'm like that guy who says good luck to Liam Neeson. Good luck.
Good luck. Right? Like, I actually want to play Brewmaster. Like, I know we talked about this when we did Gamescom stuff, where I was like, I saw the trailer and I was like, that actually interests me. And like, that does interest me. Like, I really want to play Brewmaster. So like, I'm going to try and get a hold of it and stream it. Because I feel like that could be an interesting stream. Valkyrie Elysium is yet another massive JRPG that's going on the pile of massive JRPGs that is building up there. I don't even need to look over. I know I'm pointing at the pile of JRPG discs and cartridges. There's too much gaming where my finger is currently pointing. With Grounded, I feel like I would play it for a bit, appreciate how well designed it is, and then realize it's not for me because it's not my kind of game.
So,
I've played a bit of it in early access with a friend, and I had fun, but I had fun because it was with my friend. Like, it was like a survival crafting thing. It's the same reason I haven't played Valheim, even though like we had Elfie on the podcast literally talk about Valheim, and it's like, it sounds awesome if that's what you're into.
Yeah,
it's not really my thing. I'm trying to like...
it never really clicked for me either. So.
Yeah, same with Grounded. It's like, it's cool. It's a cool concept. It's well made. Lots of people seem to dig it. But I'm probably not going to play it because it's not for me. But I salute Obsidian for the great work they've done on the game. And I'll see you in November when Penderman comes out. I got an appointment with Obsidian because that game looks fucking sick. Does anything stick out on here as something you might want to take a dive into?
No, not really. I'm not going to lie.
That's the thing. Like,
at this moment in time,
a lot of
other things that I want to try out.
Yeah, that's fair. Like, I've got a massive list of games like I want to play from like the last few months as well. So like, a lot of games have come out in September, but what's been cool about it is they're all very well. They're all targeted at like in like specific interests, like Brewmaster, right, or Grounded. It's like, do you like this type of game? Here's something for you. Like, and I feel like everyone's gotten a feast in September, which is nice to see.
Yeah, I would say that, and I think it's going to be just the same for October.
Like, I was looking at the calendar for the next few months of like, because we have a calendar for video game releases, and I was like, it's similar. There's less volume than there was in September so far. We'll see what happens. But the games get bigger. Like in October, we've got like Plague Tale, Gotham Knights.
Plague Tales, Gotham Knights, the Borderlands series, Bayonetta.
That's only 1 week, by the way. Those 3 games that you just said are all in the same week. And yeah, Signalis, Bayonetta.
Signalis. Yeah.
Hollow Knight? Thing is, right, I joke about Hollow Knight, it's not happening. But there will be a couple of...
I would laugh so much just because of Keith. It's
brave. I'll give him that. It was brave. I mean, I'll laugh because I'll finally be able to play Hollow Knight. But yeah, I feel like there'll be like at least one horror game that hasn't been announced for our release date. Yeah, that'll come out because it's October. It's tradition. But yeah, no. I'll see what I end up grabbing out of the grab bag that is my backlog. But in the meantime, it's time to play OpenCritic head to head. This is the game we play every week where we try to guess the OpenCritic average of some upcoming games. Usually one. getting ahead of myself. Whoever guesses closest to the score gets a point. If you manage to guess the score correctly, you get 2 points. Last week, we tried to guess the OpenCritic average of Return to Monkey Island. It's Return, right? Yes. Return to Monkey Island. I guessed it would get an 81. Mooney guessed it would get an 80 at the time of recording. Return to Monkey Island has an OpenCritic average of 86, which means I finally scored a point.
After 10 weeks.
After 10 weeks. I finally got a point. Which puts the scores at Amy 16, Moody 25, with our guests having 3 points. You clocked the joke I put in the doc then.
Yes, I clocked the joke.
This week we're going to try and guess the OpenCritic average of a Valkyrie Elysium. Which is another, like I said, it's another JRPG that I'm probably never going to have the time to play. I'm still trying to play Live Alive. Moody, what do you think Valkyrie Elysium is going to get on OpenCritic?
We'll get an 85.
Oh, shit. So I just Googled it, Valkyrie Elysium, and like, I need to look into this because according to this, the Famitsu has done a review of it already. It's a Japanese outlet; it doesn't count for OpenCritic, and I'm not looking at the score. But what they've said is the play time is roughly 20 hours. Like
really?
In my head, I'm like, this is a 50-hour game easy, but apparently. According to this, it's one headline from a place I've never heard of before. That's just obviously translating a review, so I'm going to have to look into this. But, okay. Maybe I will get time to play it. I'm very excited. So you get an 85. Yes. Sorry, I kind of tuned you out because I was like, 20 hours? Amy can play a game for 20 hours. What do I think it's going to get? Don't be a dick. Thing is, 85 is a good place to plant your flag because it's like, it could go either way. But I'm going to guess it's going to get an 82.
Oh.
I was going to say 84 just to be like, I'm going to block you off. But I feel like if we start playing the game like that, we might as well just finish the game. Because it'd be pretty boring. Kel, I'm losing so badly I could really do some hijinks for the last few months. Just really go to town on chaos.
Really could do some crazy ass.
We'll see what happens. If I get another point, maybe I'll try and see if I can engineer the full comebacks. If you get like a point, if you get 2 points next week, maybe I will just embrace the chaos. Just fucking go for it. Just be like the dice will come back. Like I'll get a magic 8-ball. I'll figure out how to use that to put my guesses in. We'll see what happens. But that's it. Episode 322 of the Words About Games podcast is in the bank. Did you guess the theme out there? Because I said it right at the beginning. I said this podcast has a theme. Let's see if you can guess what it is. If you guessed it, let me know. Super difficult. I obscured it really well. It was a joke. It was a joke. Don't raise your eyebrow. Don't raise your eyebrow. You know that was sarcasm.
So was my eyebrow.
Wait, your entire body part is just, wow. That takes a level of sarcastic training even I haven't achieved yet. Moody, I love hanging out with you every week to talk about video games. It's so cool.
Oh, Jesus, that clicked. I love talking about video games with you as well.
Awesome.
It's not bad at all.
Excellent. I'm going to go play some on Thursday night on Twitch. For real this time. I've already got a plan.
Oh, yeah?
I've already got a plan.
Yeah.
I know what I'm playing. And then I'm not telling everyone yet. It's a surprise. I'll tell you after we've...
Yeah, tell me off screen. Yeah.
I'll tell you after we've recorded. And then on Saturday, Phasmophobia updates this week. So I'm going to try and get everybody together for Phasmophobia on Saturday night. Custom difficulty, baby.
Yeah, feel.
Now maybe you can really turn the screws. What's
Yeah,
that?
Sarah feel.
Sprint's disabled? Zero starting sanity?
Yeah,
But he's
see my
just,
anxiety
he's just
going
like,
through the
but
roof.
he's
I'm
just like,
like,
but he's just like, yeah, I think I'll be busy. It's fine. What I'll do is we'll play the game more or less normally and maybe like tweak a couple of difficulty settings, and then when you go to bed and it's just me and Ryan, I'll just start turning all the fucking knobs and switches, dials, and just be like, and then we'll see what happens.
then I won't have a course on Sunday.
Well, then you can watch back the utter carnage that I'm sure will follow.
We'll see.
But yeah, no, cool. If you want to hang out for that on twitch.tv/wordsaboutgames, please do. So I'm getting close to releasing a Dishonored 2 video. It's coming in October. I'm like 90% sure it's coming in October.
Nice.
So that's good. But yeah, let's get out of here. Moody, do you have any final... I made myself laugh because I almost said, do you have any final words? Like I'm holding you at gunpoint. No. Do you have any final thoughts to close out the podcast? I swear I'm not going to kill him after it's done. It's not an Old Yeller situation.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay. I feel like I've been put on the spot here. Just be awesome, everybody. Have a good week. Stay safe and just kick ass.
Bye.
Bye.